This story starts with a man who wasn't trying to build a weapon. He was just taking pictures. In 1982, Ronnie Barrett stood by a quiet river in Tennessee, photographing a military patrol boat. Mounted on the deck were two massive .50 caliber machine guns. Most people would have admired the firepower and moved on. Barrett couldn't stop thinking about one question. What if a single person could fire that same bullet from a rifle? He wasn't an engineer. He had no firearms background, just a camera, and an idea that sounded impossible. That night, he went home and started sketching at his dining table. He drew a rifle from scratch, how it should load, fire, and absorb recoil. When he took his drawings to local machinists, every single one rejected him. They all said the same thing: if this worked, someone would have built it already. 6 months later, Barrett proved them wrong. Inside his garage, using borrowed tools and pure stubbornness, he built the first working prototype of what would become the Barrett .50 caliber rifle. A weapon so powerful it could disable vehicles and pierce concrete from nearly a mile away. And at first, nobody in the military wanted it, but someone else did. Before the rifle ever reached American soldiers, it caught the attention of the Provisional Irish Republican Army. In 1990, an IRA sniper team smuggled a Barrett rifle into Northern Ireland. When they fired it at a British patrol, it changed the psychological balance of the conflict overnight. The weapon wasn't just deadly, it was terrifying. The sheer power of the round meant traditional body armor was almost useless. British troops began dreading open patrols. Morale dropped. The rifle became more than a weapon, it became a symbol. And while this was happening in Europe, Barrett received a call that would transform his invention forever. The US Marine Corps urgently needed long-range firepower for the coming Gulf War. Barrett and his small team worked non-stop to deliver rifles before deployment. In the deserts of Kuwait and Iraq, the Barrett proved what it was truly designed for. It wasn't just a sniper rifle, it was portable artillery. Marines used it to disable enemy vehicles, equipment, and fortified positions from extreme distances. Suddenly, militaries around the world wanted what Barrett had built in his garage. By the early 2000s, the rifle was officially adopted by the US Army as the M107. It helped achieve some of the longest confirmed sniper shots in history.
Over 60 countries added Barrett rifles to their arsenals.
But success brought a darker spotlight. Critics argued that a weapon this powerful had no place in civilian hands. Some US states banned .50 caliber rifles entirely. Ronnie Barrett responded by refusing to sell any products to government agencies in those states, claiming they were violating constitutional rights. The controversy only grew when Mexican drug cartels discovered the rifle. For cartels, the Barrett wasn't just a weapon, it was an advantage. It could penetrate armored vehicles and overpower local police forces. In one infamous incident, cartel fighters used a .50 caliber rifle to bring down a military helicopter, killing multiple soldiers. Authorities began recovering hundreds of Barrett rifles from crime scenes. Mexico eventually filed a massive lawsuit against American gun manufacturers, arguing that these weapons were fueling cartel violence. The legal battle reached the US Supreme Court, raising questions that go far beyond a single company or rifle. Because the Barrett story isn't just about engineering, it's about consequences. What started as a photographer's curiosity became a weapon used by elite military units, insurgents, and criminal organizations alike. It has saved lives on battlefields and taken lives in conflicts its creator never imagined. And that's the uncomfortable truth about innovation. Once a technology enters the world, it doesn't belong to its inventor anymore. It follows its own path, shaped by politics, war, and the people who choose to use it. Today, Barrett rifles remain among the most feared precision weapons ever built. They represent the peak of modern firearms engineering and a reminder that power itself is neutral. It's the hands holding it that decide what happens next. And all of it, the wars, the controversy, the global impact, traces back to a single moment by a quiet river, when a photographer looked through his camera lens and imagined something the rest of the world thought was impossible.